for Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day in America last weekend. Now, before we talk to Piers, it is...
Are my eyebrows iconic?
Let me see. Yes, they are. You are iconic. Everything about you is iconic.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Or is it ironic?
Coming from the Queen of BAFTA.
Behave yourself. We have to let Auntie Peters do the competition already.
Is he still doing that?
Of course he is.
Come on, Peters. Try and pretend to excite me.
Morning. Are you
Kat and Ben are here at 10 o'clock. How you two?
Good morning.
There, good morning. I just bumped into Piers, actually. They haven't locked the doors. He's in. He's in.
You have the influencer. Can you ask Piers for me? Now he's an influencer. Is he going to be on the Misfit circuits and making loads of money having a boxing contest with somebody?
Absolutely. I'm up for any degradation I can possibly get my body involved in, because that's, as you know, Ben, degrading yourself on television is where the future is.
Exactly.
My money's on him.
Yes. We've made careers of that for a very long time. Lovely to see you,
Exactly.
Piers. Looking forward to that interview.
On the show today.
And how's your hedge? How's your box hedge, Lorraine?
Oh, what, sorry?
Yes, you have.
Hang on, it's only 9:44.
You got
what?
It sounds like you might be struggling as well, Piers. Don't worry. David Dominy is here. He can fix it. The little blighters.
Caterpillars.
He can help you with those problems if you've
box
got...
hedge.
There's a
with the
nice
box.
cream for them or something.
Yes. It's important, Piers. These are the matters that we have to discuss. They're blighters. It's the
Yes.
I think I'll be interviewing Lorraine about her box hedge now. Now you raise the
Ask her about her
spectre.
box blight, Piers.
Right, we're going to raise the tone now. Thank you
Thanks,
both.
Lorraine.
I'll see you at 10 o'clock. Now, serious face. Fiona Harvey. She's the woman, of course, believed to be the real-life Martha from Baby Reindeer, the show that everybody's talking about. It's on the front page of Scotland's Daily Record this morning. She's demanding £1 million from Piers Morgan. That's after his interview with her, which has, well over 11 million views now.
Have you watched the drama?
Not at all.
You really haven't watched any of it?
I haven't watched any of it.
You told Richard Gadd that he looked like a baby reindeer toy you once had as a child, hence the name of the show.
That's true. That's a true fact.
You sent him 41,000 emails, 350 voice messages, 744 tweets, 48 Facebook messages, and 106 letters.
That's simply not true. I think there may have been a couple of emails exchanging, but that was it. Just jokey banter emails. Even if the email thing was true, the rest is not. So
Why would you qualify that, Fiona?
Sorry, why would I what?
Why would you suddenly qualify even if it's true about the emails?
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Were you ever in love with him?
Yes.
What's your message to him?
Leave me alone, please. Get a life, get a proper job. I am horrified at what you've done.
Well, it was fascinating viewing, wasn't it? Made headlines around the world. A lot of people said you just did it for clicks.
Well, I have a YouTube channel called Piers Morgan Uncensored, and I want people to click on it. Yeah. Shock horror. Like, you do a show for ratings.
Yeah.
That's the game we're in.
Yeah.
I want people to watch the content we do. That's not why I did the interview. In fact, I didn't even realise anywhere near the scale of how big this show is. I honestly had to be persuaded by my team, and thank God they persuaded me, because it's been part of the
Huge,
phenomenon now.
yeah.
But this Baby Reindeer thing globally has been one of the biggest things I've ever been involved in. And I think it's when you watch the series, it's gripping television. I mean, Richard Gadd, I saw him on your show here. You know, he's done an amazing job telling this story.
Sure.
But the key question, after watching the series and watching my interview, is it actually a true story?
Yeah.
And the key part of that is, did she actually go to prison? Is she a convicted stalker? As I sit here, Lorraine, there is no actual evidence so far that she's ever even been in court. So we have to wait and see.
It's really interesting, because what Richard has said is that he didn't want anybody... He didn't want their identities revealed. That wasn't what the show was about. But inevitably, of course, because it's been
Well,
so
I've got to say, I'm afraid I think that's pretty disingenuous, because they literally used parts of messages which internet sleuths just tapped into her
so easy.
Twitter account,
Yeah.
and up came the same
easy.
phraseology. So I think they failed in a duty of care to Fiona Harvey. There's no question about that, Netflix in particular. But the key question is whether they've defamed her. Because if you accuse somebody of being a convicted stalker and they're not a convicted stalker, that's a pretty serious mistake to make.
Very much so, very much so. What was she like? I mean, in fact, you know, behind the scenes, when she came in, and you know she wants £1 million off you now.
I do.
Is that going to happen?
No, she's not going to get £1 million.
She's not going to get £1 million.
What she wants is an agent.
But
But actually, no, we
point.
gave her the same amount we give, I would say, 95% of all our guests. And we don't discuss terms, but we paid for her to have a nice haircut and a car and everything else. I think we've performed our duty of care. We've stayed in touch with her since. And she's given some lively, provocative interviews. But when she came to the studio, she was actually relatively normal.
Right.
I didn't get any sign of somebody who I thought was mentally unwell.
Right.
But I do think she sent all these messages. And I do think that shows that she has an obsessive streak, certainly in relation to Richard Gadd. But I also think by his own admission, he himself is a pretty damaged individual, and he admits to leading her on and so on. So it's a very messy human interest story at the heart of this.
But that's what makes it so compelling,
Of
doesn't
course.
it? I mean, we obviously tried to get in touch with her, but were you, and she didn't respond, were you worried at all about having somebody in who clearly has problems, and if she is this woman, which it seems she is, that you would be at risk? I mean, I know you've got a thick skin, but was there every sense that you think, well, should I really have this
I'm
woman
used
on?
to obsessive Scottish ladies
Well, this is true.
harassing me from,
Yeah.
no.
There is that point.
Just a joke. No, you can't listen. I've interviewed serial killers, psychopaths.
Exactly.
I've interviewed people, who've done terrible things. She's not one of those. So I've had far scarier environments which I've interviewed people. I felt it was important that she'd be allowed to have her say because she'd already been revealed by the media as the real-life Martha, but she had no ability to tell her story. And I thought, you know what? When we asked her if she wanted to come on, she said yes. I think that Piers has a big platform. I think he's an interviewer who'll be fair with me. I think I was fair with her. I think people who know me, I've been a lot harder on people, politicians and so on, in the past than I was with her. I tried to be very fair and balanced. I tried to get to the truth. I think she lied to me a lot in the interview. But I think on this key point, like I say, is she a convicted stalker? If it turns out she isn't, then the Netflix claim at the start of every episode, this is a true story, becomes extremely problematic because it's not a true story.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? It should have said based on.
Yeah.
And then that would have
or
covered
a
it.
dramatised version of events or any of the normal words, phraseology that a network might use. So I think they've got problems here because she clearly is determined to have her day in court, she says, with Netflix. Then we'll find out two things. One, has she been convicted? But secondly, did she send all the messages?
Yeah.
And as you saw in the interview, I pushed her quite hard about, well, hang on, you realise on discovery in a court case, this will all come out. And I thought she then began to slightly rein back. And when she said, well, even if I did send the 41,000...
That was so telling.
I thought that was a very telling moment.
It was.
That's the moment for me when alarm bells went off.
If you'd still been on GMB, or if you'd still been on
I just asked them earlier, actually.
I know.
I
They're
could hear
still in
Susanna's
shock.
dulcet tones.
They're still in shock.
Ringing out, and I thought I was going to burst back through the doors.
That would have been a moment.
Shout, I can't take this anymore either.
That would have been a moment. But would you have been able, or would you been able to do this interview had you still been on telly
I don't
rather
think so.
than on
No,
YouTube?
I don't think so because I think it's very difficult to do. You want to have time to do it properly. I don't think you would give 50 minutes of live television on GMB to something like that.
But what about Talk TV when you were on that? Would you be able to talk
yeah, well,
to
Talk TV. I mean, the Talk TV thing was really that it was a linear network, Talk TV, and what we found is there wasn't much of an audience at the time I was doing my show or any of the other shows we did for that kind of thing in the UK. There is in America, didn't really work out here. I'm very sorry that part of it didn't work out. But out of all that came Piers Morgan Uncensored, the YouTube channel. We have nearly 3 million subscribers now. We've gained 200,000 subscribers in the last week alone.
Because of this?
Because of this, but also other big interviews. Donald Trump, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kanye West. So I think we've built this incredible digital platform now. And it's amazing, this world. I mean, one of the clips from the interview that we put on our TikTok channel, and we have nearly 2 million subscribers to that and followers to that, one clip has had 26 million views.
Wow.
I mean, these are unbelievable numbers. So what
do
it
you
shows
feel like
me,
you're ahead of the curve? Do you
I
feel
think
that
so, yeah.
rather than, oh, that was a shame, Talk TV didn't work out,
I think that we had a good go at Talk TV.
Right.
And I think everyone was really, we tried our best to do it. What we discovered is there's not a market for linear television in the way that we were hoping it would be. But what we also discovered is a massive audience, potentially, for what I'm now doing on our YouTube channel. And it's global. 40% of the audience I have on my YouTube channel is from America. A lot of people in the Middle East. We had 22 million people watch my interview with Bassem Youssef, the Egyptian comedian. So there's a huge audience out there, which is not necessarily the audience that turns on conventional television at a certain time of day. I think television is going through the same revolution music went through when it went from vinyl to digital. Newspapers are going through from print into digital. We are living in a very different time. And I think that my advantage, I've got 4 kids. And my oldest is 30, and my boys are 30, 26, 23. My daughter's 12. None of them watch conventional television
so
at a
interesting, isn't it?
scheduled time.
Yeah.
They will watch television, but they watch it mainly through the YouTube app. So they watch my stuff, but they watch it on YouTube. And I've been trying to, you know, helping my mum. He said, "What happened to your show?" I went, "It's still there, Mum. You just have to get onto your YouTube app on your smart TV. It's called a smart TV for a reason. And there I am in the same old studio doing the same old stuff. So it's a really exciting new world, I think. It's just a world that is for the future and not looking back at the past.
Sure. Well, you know, we did try to get in touch with Richard Gadd's lawyers, with Netflix, and also with the production company Clark & Well. They didn't give us a statement. We did try to get in touch with them.
I've emailed him to get him on because I want to be fair to Richard. I hear from everyone who knows him, he's a really good guy.
He is a good lad.
Seemed it on your interview.
He's a good lad.
And I think that I want to be fair to him too. I don't actually know where the truth lies. He has said that she was convicted. Well, let's see some evidence, because if you falsely accuse someone of being a convicted criminal, that's a pretty big deal.
Let's get him on.
Yeah.
And we can see
Let's
what
do them
happens.
together.
Absolutely.
The dream
It would be
team
great.
reunited.
It would be fantastic. It's so good to see
It's
you.
lovely to see you.
Thank you so
and
so
congrats
much.
on the BAFTA, honestly.
Thank you.
I was watching that the other night, and I don't normally watch it, but I thought I'd watch for Lorraine. And I love Brian Cox, who introduced you.
I'm going to have
And
to
I-
say goodbye. I can't
and
believe
I-
it. We'll continue this.
Well, I just want to say it was magic.